Good afternoon, Fantasy Bay. Mike Williams here, and today we're going to be going over the waiver wire. But before we get into that, I want to say congratulations to all of you who won a championship. Hell yeah. Good job, everybody. Round of applause. I am also one of those people who won championship this year, but I'm also one who lost one. So I am sorry to all of you who have lost your championship. I will be here year-round. Stick with me, and you'll get one next year. We're going to get into this waiver wire. I'm going to have a couple notes at the end of the video to clarify the rest of the season and the off-season. But without further ado, let's get started on the waiver wire. We're going to start off with the quarterback, and Daniel Jones did work this weekend. Man, 5 touchdowns, 352 yards. Absolutely outstanding against Washington. And I think that he's going to play well against the Eagles as well. Division matchup. I think that this is going to be a good one. You can definitely start Daniel Jones this week. Andy Dalton. I think that he played great last week going against Miami. Of course, Miami's terrible, but going against the Browns, they don't really scare you. Andy Dalton is a competent quarterback, and if you're playing in Week 17, he might be one of your better options. Ryan Fitzpatrick going against the Patriots. I hate to see that, but you know, if you're looking for a flyer, I could see Ryan Fitzpatrick having some garbage time. I don't think that they win this game, but I do think that they're going to need to throw it to get back in it. So Fitzy could have probably 250 and 2 with a pick or two and maybe 30 yards on the ground. Not a great performance, but I don't think he absolutely bombs your team. He's going to sling it. He's a gunslinger. Jared Goff. I actually like Jared Goff this week. Going against the Cardinals, the last 4 games, he's been averaging 22, 23 fantasy points. Very solid. I like him in this matchup and moving forward. Now let's move on to the wide receiver position. Corey Davis. Nope, just kidding. Cole Beasley. Nobody wants Corey Davis. Cole Beasley, I think that he should have a fine game. He's been playing great the last couple. 2 weeks ago, he had a pretty off game, but other than that, 23, 14, 1, gross. 17, it looks like he's getting the targets. I think he should be fine against the Jets. I think you can fire him up. Hunter Renfrow. Ever since he's been back, he came back, 23 fantasy points. Absolutely amazing. I think that you should definitely start him. Going against the Broncos, I think that their top cornerback is going to be going against Tyrell Williams, so I think Hunter Renfrow should be fine. He normally does the underneath stuff anyways. Diontae Johnson, I'm not a huge fan of because he's going against the Ravens, but I'm not quite sure who the Ravens are going to sit on their defense. There's a chance that Peters and possibly a couple others sit. And if they're not playing at full strength, there's a chance that Diontae Johnson actually has a good game. So he's on the radar. John Ross going against the Browns. I think he'd be a fine play. Chris Conley has been playing pretty well recently. Justin Watson from the Bucks. He's a solid start if you really need somebody going against the Falcons. And let's get to the running back position. DeAndre Washington going against the Broncos. I'm not a big fan of running backs going against the Broncos, but he is a starting running back, and you are desperate at this point because Week 17, which I don't think I've clarified in this video, stop playing fantasy football in Week 17. The major stars are going to be sitting, whether because the season is over because they played too well or the season is over because the team played too poorly. It's a terrible time to have your championship. Change it. If you're a commissioner, change it. If you are a person that is in a league and these are the formats, commission them to change it. Start a vote. Rally some troops because this is ridiculous. I'm up here telling you to start DeAndre Washington and Dion Lewis, who is next on my list, going against the Texans. They don't scare me, and the health of Hunter Henry does scare me, so I definitely think that you should look into Dion Lewis if Henry is out. Jalen Samuels, again, I'm not a big fan of him going against the Ravens, but desperate times, desperate measures. Gus Edwards and Justice Hill should be fine plays against the Steelers. The Steelers have great defense against the running back position, but, I mean, desperate times. Justice Hill is very talented. I know that he's like a 4-stringer, but I do like Justice Hill and Gus Edwards. I think they're both pretty solid running backs in general. Carryon Johnson is back into the mix going against the Packers. The Packers are not the greatest on the ground, so I think that he could have a fine play. And then last but not least, my man Marshawn Lynch back in the league. Beast mode. I wish he wasn't going against the 49ers because I really would want to play him. I love Marshawn Lynch. He is an absolute monster. I'm not trying to have my entire season weigh on that, though. I'm not quite sure what shape he's in. I wish he would have come back like 2 weeks ago. Like this would have happened 2 weeks ago so that we could actually seen him play. But I'm going to be looking forward to watching this game regardless, but it won't have many fantasy implications for me. Well, it won't have any fantasy implications for me because I don't play in any finals in Week 17 because all of my leagues are not ridiculous. Back on to the tight ends. Dallas Goedert, if he's still out there, grab him up. Going against the Giants, they don't scare you. Mike Gesicki going against the Patriots. The Patriots are great in all facets of the defense, but I do believe that what they are worst at is guarding the tight end. So if you need a desperation play, Mike Gesicki. O.J. Howard, I think, should get some love. Going against the Falcons, they don't scare you. And on top of that, we are losing people left and right, so O.J. Howard should be relevant. Jonnu Smith, he definitely should be in rotation last 3 games, 11, 16, 15. Going against the Texans, they don't scare you. Fire him up. And last but not least, the defense. I have the Green Bay Packers. I think that they should be great going against the Lions and David Blah. I think that's going to do it. Just to let you know, I'm going to be coming out with videos all throughout the offseason. The content is going to be changing slightly, but it should be a lot of fun. Let me know if you have any comments. Good luck on the waiver wire. Good luck this week. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas for anybody that's celebrating Christmas out there. Have a nice holiday. Peace. Good luck.